The time had just started again. The whistle had just blown, and the girls were starting to move around the soccer pitch. And I, as their coach, was standing on the sideline. And I was wondering, would they really hear my voice? Would they understand what I had to say so that we could take this 2-2 tie in overtime and help them find one more goal and ultimately maybe win this game and win the championship? Could they hear my voice? Could they understand? Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and one of the secrets to helping you reach your dreams and ultimately live your dream is to understand your voice, understand who you really are, and what that calling is, what that responsibility or that opportunity that you have to change the world. And that's really where we're at. So, what I would like to do today is teach you your unique voice, help you find your unique voice. And the point is, nobody sounds just like you. That makes me think of a story. There's a wonderful story about two different keepers of sheep. One was called a shepherd and one was called a sheep herder. And what was the difference? And when you go talk to a shepherd and you start to talk to him and say, okay, can you tell me about your sheep? The shepherd will actually know them by name. The shepherd will actually be able to call them out and have them come. The shepherd will be able to walk ahead of them and have them follow. Whereas a sheep herder, because the sheep don't recognize his voice, don't understand his voice, will just have to push the sheep on using horses or dogs or something to push the sheep from behind, as opposed to lead the sheep from the front. The point here is that as we help you understand your voice, you can step into that role that you are uniquely qualified to take. And then you'll be able to share with others your unique experiences from your strengths, your talents, even your weaknesses, and you can bless the world. So you can ultimately reach your goals, live your dream, and enjoy the extraordinary life that you deserve. You were born extraordinary. You are supposed to be extraordinary. And part of that is learning your voice. So let me give you the pieces of this puzzle. There's really 5 steps to find your voice. The first is to learn what makes you tick. What gets you excited? If you were to make a list of the things that you wanted to do when you were a little kid, what makes you excited? What are those? Say, okay, what would you want to do? The point of looking at it when you were a child or when you were really young is you're going before you have the filters that you've put up based on what other people are telling you and based on the limiting beliefs that you put into place. And you started to realize, I can't do that. And what gifts do you have? Are there gifts that are uniquely yours that you should be sharing, that you can actually use and give value to the world? And what do you stand for? What are the most important things to you? Those 3 things are what make you tick. What gets you excited, what gifts you have, and what values you have. The second piece is pick one of those things and that you get excited about, one of the gifts, the things you stand for, that you could talk about for hours. Say, okay, what could you talk about for hours? If you were to sit down and say you can talk about anything you want, what gets you so excited that you can just talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and you want to tell everybody about it and so forth? And then what audience, who do you want to tell about this? Who do you want to share this with? So learn what makes you tick. Pick one that gets you so excited you can talk about it for hours, and then find your audience. And then you need to start sharing your message. And the whole point of this is you want to share it, and you take opportunities to share it. You say, okay, what are the ways I could share it? You could share it in videos. You can share it in Facebook, Instagram, different types of posts. You can share it in blogs. You can actually do different types of videos if you want to do that. Basically, the idea is to start to share that, even if you're not giving it to anybody. The more times you share it, the more you start to understand your voice, the more you start to understand who you are. And then the fifth one is you want to make this message become you. You want to go to, instead of just understanding the message, you want to really know it. There's two forms of the word know. Oida, O-I-D-A, which means to understand. I know that, I understand. Or gnosko, which is Ginosko, which is really to intimately understand. And I like to say to become one with. So instead of just understanding, we want you to become one with your message. And as you become one with your message, you won't have to prepare to be able to share it. And you'll be in situations where it will just automatically flow out of you and it will become who you are. And then it becomes easier to reach those goals, becomes easier to live that dream, and it becomes ultimately easier to enjoy the extraordinary life that will help you live. This is Dr. Brandt Gibson, and I hope that you're ready to truly understand who you are and what your calling is by seeking out and finding your unique voice and starting to share that voice, because the world needs